Wow. What a great game that was. But what do I play now? I mean, people told me, hey Bean, why don't you play Undertale, Deltarune, Donkey Kong Country? What a great game this is! Hey Beanster, are you insane? This is your 5th playthrough of Luigi's Mansion this month. I've never played Fortnite. I'm not really the type of person to try new things, and that includes video games, which is weird because whenever I do try something new, I like it. For example, in the past, I played games like Donk, Tears of the Kingdom, and Forager, all because other people suggested them to me. And they're great! I still haven't beaten this game. Well, that should solve my crisis, right? I just reflected on games I really liked for the first time. But there's one problem. The same one I had before. Even looking back on these experiences, it doesn't make me want to replay all these games any less. But why is this? Well, in the video game talkers community here, there's a certain term that gets thrown around a lot. It's not very uncommon. In fact, it's a very simple thing to address in a game review of some sort. A little known factor called replayability. Replayability speaks for itself. It defines how often or worth your time replaying a game is. This can be compared to movies, except in that field it'd be called rewatchability. Ever scrolled through some streaming service and said, I don't want to watch it again? Yeah, I'd hope so. That's the Maya the Bee movie. Personally, replayability is something I think about when buying a game. I need to know how much I'm gonna play the game, and if I don't play it, then what's the point of buying it? I've had dud purchases myself in the past, like I'm sure many of us had. For example, Splatoon 3, I played this for like 2 hours and never really touched it again. But wait, that's dumb. Splatoon 3 has a battle mode. It should be replayable. I should want to continue to play this game for hundreds of hours until the next Splatoon game comes out. And that's the problem with replayability. It's subjective. Even if, in theory, a game should fall under the category of replayable, not everyone would agree. For example, I'm quite a big fan of replaying New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I grew up on this game, so yeah, there is some bias here, but I find this game replayable because of the co-op experiences to be had. But some may not get anything out of this game, which is fair. When you have 3 other New Super Mario Bros. Games to choose from, I mean, why pick Wii specifically? U gives you pretty much the same exact experience. See what I mean here? There's not really an easy way to classify a game as replayable. And, well, maybe you think it is, and maybe you play it a lot. But, again, it's subjective, so... Nonetheless, I felt like I would contribute to society by talking about my 9 favorite games to replay. Why isn't it 10? Beginning off the list is a pretty simple one, Mario Kart. I played a lot of Mario Kart Wii, a bit of 64 and Super Circuit, and sprinkle in some others, but obviously, I'm talking about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I did first play the game on Wii U, but there's not really a reason to go back to that. Plus, the Booster Course Pass really helped the Switch version. The Switch version was already a solid Mario Kart, but the DLC really just sets it at the top in terms of Mario Kart game value. I played this game for a good 170 hours. I mean, it's Mario Kart. Everyone's played Mario Kart. It's consistently near the top of every console's best-selling games lists. Super Mario Kart at 4th on the SNES, Kart 64 at 2nd, Double Dash at 2nd as well. I mean, you get the gist. Heck, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best-selling Switch game, and it's obvious why. These kinds of games are very easy to get into replaying. These kinds of games, known as party games. Party games are a very common type of game on any console, and they're pretty self-explanatory. They're games mainly meant to be played with multiple other people at parties and other social gatherings. Games like these dominated the Wii. I mean, just looking at the top 5 best-selling Wii games, all of them are party games. And although it's not on my list, there's another major Nintendo party game that is often paired with Mario Kart, and that's Smash Brothers. The reason I've, and I'm sure many others, have spent countless hours playing games like Smash Bros, Mario Kart, and Mario Party is because of their focus on replayability. I mean, they were meant to be played over and over with friends, and if you don't have friends, you can play online. And if you don't have an internet connection or don't want to spend $1 million on MSO, I mean, there's still single-player experiences to be had here. Smash Ultimate has World of Light, Spirit Board, Challenges, Classic Mode, all of that stuff. And while Mario Kart 8 Deluxe isn't too focused on the single-player side of things, you can still race against CPUs and get new records in time trials. A lot of times, party games like these succeed in achieving that replayable aspect in them, which is why I put Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on this list, and honestly why I think it's one of, if not the most replayable game of all time. Moving away from party games for now, these next 2 games are very similar in terms of, literally everything. Numbers 8 and 7 go to Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World, respectively. I just can't get enough of these games. If you have a lack of dignity, I'm sure you've played these games as well. Maybe not as many times as me and many other retro gamers have, but you'll get there one day, and I'm counting on it. This Electoral College map is not gonna fill out itself. But wait, why do me and other retro gamers play these games so much? Why do we think these specific games are so worthwhile of our time? Well, to be honest with you, I think it's just, it's everything. These games are just so simple, yet have such charming art styles, music, and an incredible legacy on gaming as a whole, specifically in Mario 3's case. And the different gameplay styles really help, like Yoshi and all the power-ups in Mario 3. They just add so much spice to the game, and the short tendency of the levels and the games in general make it really fun and quick to either 100% or just see if you could beat the game as fast as possible. Or see how fast you can make it to the first Eerie in Mario World. I call this guy Joseph, and the run, Joseph%. This is how I spend my days. I think the best way to describe why I play these games a bunch is just joy, man. I'm a huge Mario fan. I love everything about it. And out of all retro games, I've grown up with these two the most. In 3's case, I definitely replay it less. It's a very well-made game, but I find the charm isn't as, charming as Mario World. But I love 3 because it has such a good, short and sweet experience. It has secrets like the warp whistle and choices in the form of the world map. Genuinely, the world map adds so much more to 3 in comparison to Mario's 1 and 2. But Mario World, I feel World improves on pretty much everything Mario 3 does. Plus, it's on the SNES, my favorite console of all time, mainly because I love 16-bit graphics, music, art, all of that. In World, there are so many different ways to approach the game. There are several star road skips, the special world, you could go for every exit, all dragon coins. It's ridiculous how much a game from 1991 can hold up to today. And I think that surprise is also kind of part of the experience. Although Mario World has a level of complexity in it, I find that submerging myself to a nice retro game just feels simpler. I don't want to be like those weirdos that only like retro games and complain about anyone liking modern stuff, but when you play a game like on the SNES for example, there aren't any DLC or microtransactions or any of that modern garbage to worry about. It's just you, the game, and your thoughts. The amount of details the devs put into Mario World is insane. Baby Yoshis, the different Yoshi colors and how shells affect them, how this one pipe in Donut Secret 1 changes color after you use the P-Balloon to float up for some reason. I love this game to death, man. And so do so many other people. There are so many reasons and ways to enjoy the game. So it makes sense how it's one of the most beloved games of all time, and why World and Mario 3 deserve spots on this list. Next up, dude, who hasn't played a bunch of Minecraft? Okay, I guess him. And we call him the father of our country. Minecraft is a weird game to put on a replayability list, but that's why I included it, you know? I play a lot of Minecraft, whether solo, with friends, or random people who just really like building Luigi. In fact, it's my most played game ever. I played it for the majority of my life, and while my Switch only says 1,780 hours, I played a ton more on PC and in desperate times. But the weird thing about Minecraft is that I wouldn't normally classify it as replayable. It's just good, and I think the reason I feel so different towards a game like Minecraft is because it's pretty different from the other games on my list. It keeps getting updated, and there are literally infinite things to do in the game. So if every time you're playing Minecraft you end up creating a new world, is that even replaying at that point? You could really go either way with this. I mean, by technicality, I think Minecraft is replayable. It's kind of comparable to games like Skyrim and... Anyways, why do I quote-unquote replay Minecraft so much? Well, the two different versions help. Bedrock is simpler to play with friends in just a normal world, and it's the version on Switch. And Java is literally better, in every single way. So technically, if you want to be legally correct, you're getting two games for the price of one when talking about Minecraft, especially since Mojang is creating more unity between the two versions. I also think that if you said that, you'd probably smell kinda weird. The main thing about the version differences for me are servers. Everyone pretty much plays servers with their friends on Java, but I do like joining public Bedrock servers like Cubecraft and the Hive occasionally. Or sometimes I go through a 2-week new world phase, as I'm sure we all do. Or hey, maybe I feel like building funny images in creative mode. The point is, you could do literally anything in Minecraft, which is why I put it on the list. The only reason Minecraft is not at the top of my list is because this is about enjoyment of playing and not time played, because in that case, yeah, Minecraft would be at the top. But I think Minecraft deserves this 6th spot on the list, because, I mean, you never get tired of Minecraft, except for when you do. Taking 5th? Yes! Dude, Cuphead is one of the best video games of all time for 2017, let alone the 2010s, so I did the only logical thing and waited 5 years to buy it. But the point is, I did it. I tried something new and very hard, and now this is one of my favorite games ever. I swear I replay this game every time I go to bed.
To be honest, yeah, the obscene difficulty of Cuphead can turn some people off at first. I've known people that have had this game for over 4 years and still haven't beaten it once. But I don't know, man. When you beat the game the first time, it's so rewarding. So I came back for a second time, and then a third time. And now we're here.
I think what keeps drawing me into Cuphead is strategy. You can use different weapons, charms, and even skip entire running guns to create a different experience every time. And you can impose challenges on yourself, like to only use the pea shooter or just to 200% the game. But all these aspects can shine because the game is short. Normally that may not be a great feature for a game to have, but Cuphead is actually improved by this. Replayability is sky high because of how fast you can optimize your playing to beat the game. It's so fun, and once you beat the game a few times, you start severely improving at it. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've gotten pretty good at Cuphead. I could pretty much first try every boss, and I fully 200%ed the game. Oh yeah, and there's DLC including 6.5 whole new bosses to the game. Overall, it's a game worth replaying, and that's why I think it's deserving of 5th, the spot above Minecraft. What sets it over the edge for me is definitely the speedrun side of things, but it's pretty close. Up next is pretty much just gaming's magnum opus at this point, Mario 64. Yeah, this game is replayable, but I think I recently had a revelation. You see, a few years ago, I decided, I'm gonna buy Mario 64 on Wii U Virtual Console. 2 mistakes were made that day. Not only does Wii U N64 emulation look bad, I bought that 5 months before 3D All-Stars was revealed. Those were my first encounters with Mario 64, and boy did I hate it. Maybe as a 90s kid this wasn't bad, but playing Mario 64 for the first time, I wouldn't say it was terrible, but it takes a lot to get used to it, you know? The camera isn't great, Mario does this obnoxious U-turn when you switch directions, which can easily lead to death, and the game, for the most part, doesn't hold up well graphically. However, after years of resenting this game, my friend helped me rediscover the game in a whole new way. Introducing Super Mario 64 EX Co-op, a version of Mario 64 that easily allows mod installation and online multiplayer. You may be thinking, you put Mario 64 on your list because you play some whacked up version? Well, not exactly.
You see, this version only helped me rediscover the game. Afterwards is when I 100%ed this thing like 20 times.
I love replaying Mario 64. I mean, how do I even need to explain this game's replayability? There's 120 power stars to collect, and you can cheat most of them by combining Mario's wide array of moves. Seriously, all of his moves flow together so well in this game. Plus, there's so many glitches, skips, speedrun tech. Oh my god, the speedruns. I've never timed any of my 16-star runs, so they're not on speedrun.com or anything. But I played the category a few times myself, and it's mad easy to get into. I mean, that's why Mario 64 is still the most sped-ran game ever, even around 30 years later. The game has so much variety. There's not a single power star you're forced to get in this game, except for Board Bowser's sub, but even that is technically skippable through. The point is, the game gives you choice. It rewards you for figuring things out, exploring, and most importantly, figuring things out. I mean, dude, how are you supposed to know what blast away the wall means?
Anyways, the point is, Mario 64 will always hold a special place in my heart. Like I'm sure it is in many of yours. I mean, I don't know, I've just replayed this game so much, whether it's collecting every star, not collecting every star, or going for a world record. It's safe to say that this game is very replayable, and I think it belongs at number 4 on my list. But hey, don't shoot the messenger. Oh, it's pizza time. Subtle reference there. Half of you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Whoa! Okay, so I'm pigming this game, and it's awesome, and I didn't buy it for a year. What am I talking about? Pizza Tower!
My favorite 2023 platformer game. Sorry, Mario Wonder. For those of you who aren't familiar with Pizza Tower, Peppino, the main character, has strength like Wario from, say, Wario Land, but his speed is more in line with something like Sonic the Hedgehog. I think to fully express why I replay this game so much, and why I have so much fun doing it, I just have to explain how the game fundamentally works. You play as the previously mentioned Peppino, and go through the titular Pizza Tower. The game has 20 levels and 5 bosses. That may sound short, but these aren't no Mario levels. These, on an average basis, take around 10 minutes to complete. I swear to God. You can do it much quicker if all you do is bolt to the end, but there's a lot to do in each level. Throughout all of them, there are these 5 topics. Collect them and you get $10. I'll explain why that's useful later. There's also a janitor to get, which opens a secret treasure room. You need to enter all of these treasure rooms to 100% the game, by the way. 3 secrets are in each level as well. They're pretty much just bonus rooms that give you a lot of points. At the end of each level, pizza time occurs. Pretty much an escape sequence where you have to bolt it to the start of the level on a somewhat strict time limit. If that doesn't sound stressful, you can do it again to get more points. So you can essentially play through each stage 3 times per run at max. And points affect your ranking, which is pretty much the most important thing to worry about when you want to complete the game. You have your regular D through A ranks, nothing special, but an S rank requires you to get everything I just said, toppings, treasure, secrets, lap 2, all of it. However, you see that combo meter at the top of the screen? That goes down gradually, but it fills back up every time you collect something or you kill an enemy. To get the fabled P rank in a level, you have to do all of that S rank stuff while keeping your combo for the entire run. It sounds atrociously hard, to be honest. It took me a while to get used to, and most people may not even want to try enough to be skilled at it, but having all of this stuff to do effectively 20 times in the game is really fun. I P-ranked every level on a file maybe 3 times at the moment, but that's not even it! Remember the $10 from each topic I mentioned earlier? Well, boss gates are unlocked with certain amounts of money, which you need to progress. The boss fights are really interesting, 1 per tower floor. You also have achievements, 3 in each level, plus achievements for doing bosses no-hit, and S-ranking and P-ranking entire floors of the game. Also, there's a whole nother character to play as. The World 3 boss, The Noise, was added as a free update. His moveset is very different from Peppino's and really helps mix up the gameplay. And if you like both characters, swap between them! If you beat both campaigns, you unlock Swap Mode. Every time you press the taunt button, you switch characters. Well, I hope that explains why I replay this game so much. Speeding through the levels is a joy to do, and depending on how fast you beat the game and how much percentage you obtain, you can also get different final rankings as well. But I digress.
Listen, my point is, Pizza Tower is really fun to go back to. And plus, it's on Switch now, so you could play it literally any time. I'd suggest checking it out if you don't have it, but anyways, I think it's deserving of the number 3 spot. But what could be better than a game starring an Italian? Guess.
Yep, my favorite 2 games I enjoy replaying most are Mario games. But can you really blame me?
Get out of here, man.
I've decided to cover these 2 games together just because I feel they already complement each other a lot. Those games would be Super Mario Odyssey at number 2 and Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury at number 1, specifically the Switch version of the latter. The reason I love to play these games a lot is because of one crucial thing. I'm a completionist. Whenever possible, I usually go for 100% when playing a game. In recent times, with my collection growing more rapidly, I haven't had as much time to 100% every game I play, but that doesn't stop me from getting every moon and collectible in Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey, one of the Nintendo Switch's flagship games. It had rave reviews at release, but I've noticed it's been getting some neglection recently, specifically in the realm of replayability. I think for some people, they just expected a sequel to come out around like 3 years later, kind of paralleling the life of Mario Galaxy. But since that sequel never released, and was likely reworked into Donkey Kong Bonanza 8 years later, Mario Odyssey was already old news by the time all hope was lost. I also think that some people find the large amount of moons and stuff to do is a bit overwhelming. And yeah, that's kind of fair. Compared to a game like Mario 64, each moon feels way less rewarding than a Power Star in 64. Since there's just so many moons, half of them end up just being out in the open, like this moon in Cascade Kingdom that's on top of the rubble. Like, seriously? This is the best you could come up with? And yes, I somewhat agree with all those points, but honestly, I like more collectibles and stuff to do in a game. Yes, too many different things to keep track of can get bad, like in Donkey Kong 64's case, but I think having purple coins, moons, costumes, and everything else to get spices up 100% runs. But that's just 100%. Speedrunning this game is awesome. I haven't speedrun this game's any percent as much as 64's 16 star category, but I would like to get back into speedrunning Mario Odyssey because it's just really fun to me. It's short, only taking around 2 hours or less, even if you're just starting out. My first attempt was a 1:54:12. I'm not proud of it, but it wasn't longer than 2 hours. Only an hour away from world record. I'm almost there. But anyways, I think I love Odyssey because I love 64. Mario Odyssey takes 64's formula and expands upon it so much. Each area has a unique theme now, which was insane at the time because 2017 was kind of in the middle of a boring period of Mario, and this game, instead of having your old plains and deserts, you still had those, but they were combined with other themes. Cascade was a plains area, but it was combined with a sort of prehistoric vibe, and Sand Kingdom was literally a frozen desert. It really freshened up the series and gave people hope about the future of Mario, and then stayed to unleash his wrath on the world.
Well, that's why I like Mario Odyssey so much, and why it's my second favorite game of all time, and the second on this list. But it may be a little confusing about why such a grand adventure is placing lower than a game like Super Mario 3D World with Bowser's Fury, which is my favorite game of all time. Specifically the Switch version, though, because if we were just talking about the Wii U version, it's okay.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna understate 3D World, because everyone already has. At its launch on Wii U, it was received very well, and lots of excitement ensued, but I think after a bit, the hype kinda died down, because I think everyone overestimated this game. Its position and launch window sort of made everyone think that this was the Wii U's next Mario Galaxy-like experience, when it wasn't trying to be that. It was just a good game, and yeah, I think it's a mighty fine one. I played the Wii U game a lot back then, which is why I was excited to see it get ported onto the Switch 7 years later. But first, let me explain why I like base 3D World so much. It's so fun to play multiplayer. It's just so interesting to be running through these somewhat small but 3D levels with 3 other people. The game doesn't always sound fun to my friends, but I've gotten them to enjoy playing this multiplayer in just like 30 minutes. It's so good. And in the Switch version, everyone's speed is increased, so it makes it a blast to speed through these bite-sized levels that with either friends or just alone. The game's fun to speedrun, says the person who's never completed a speedrun. I've tried, but I can never commit to it because it takes longer than Odyssey, but nonetheless, the game is incredible. So they added more. Bowser's Fury. Okay. Bowser's Fury is good, don't get me wrong. Having a semi-open world Mario game now makes it very unique, and 100%ing this for the first time was a blast. But every time I try to complete it again, I stop somewhere in the middle. The Bowser cycle every 10 minutes keeps this game interesting for a bit, but later on just becomes a nuisance, and more of a game of how fast can I get to these blocks Bowser can break to get the shine behind it. I do have the urge to replay this quite a bit, but it doesn't last long. I can't quite put my finger on why though. However, I'd say it's good, and great plus good equals my favorite game of all time. Now, I feel 3D World can complement Odyssey more. This is how it was meant to be released, on a console with an already previously established sandbox Mario game. And with Wonder, the Switch now has a great 3D Mario, a great 2D Mario, and a great in-the-middle 3D game with 3D World. And to be honest, if someone was just getting into Mario, I'd recommend this if they had experience with 3D games before. This is definitely the definitive Switch and Mario experience, my favorite game to replay, and my favorite video game of all time. And I couldn't be more happy about it.
Well, that's my list of games that I like to replay. It is kind of stupid, I mean, half the list is Mario, but hey, that's just what I enjoy to play. And you do have your occasional exceptions here and there, like Minecraft and Cuphead, but overall, I'm happy with this list. And I'm actually kind of interested to see how much it would differ for anyone who's pretty much just kind of into video games. But who cares? I have good news. While I was talking about those weird games, I finally finished Donkey Kong Country, and it was really good. So that's one game off of the list of games that my friends told me I should play. Well, what now? Should I play Breath of the Wild? Or should I play Mario is Missing again?